Hello everybody. Today is day 21st of my 30-day video challenge, and today I want to talk about what is called the rule of force. So the background is I like to travel and also do backpacking in the wilderness. I also like hiking, and at the same time when I'm not hiking and when I'm not doing backpacking at home, I'm very organized, or so I think. I'm usually very anxious when I'm leaving for backpacking or traveling. Did I miss something that I should have taken? Did I pack everything correctly? It takes me a few minutes to settle down and realize that there is no point worrying about what I might have forgotten and move on. Because of this anxiousness and because I'm also organized, I'm a big fan of checklists. They help me feel confident that I have packed everything, or if there are multiple steps to something as simple as making smoothie, for example, or going grocery shopping, I like to have checklists. I want to make another video on checklists because I think that's going to be, that is an interesting topic in itself. But today, I want to talk about what unexpected and unintuitive things I have learned from packing for backpacking, hiking, traveling, and how can you pack differently and more efficiently and more effectively as a result of that. To go back a while ago, before I started backpacking, I would pack while going for a hike or something, I would pack enough food. First priority, I need food. I would invariably take less water than needed. For some reason, just half a liter I would take. I wouldn't need a lot more than that, but I would feel a bit thirsty toward the end. And number three, that the clothing was just an afterthought when packing. I would think that I'm out only for a few hours and I don't need a lot of layers of warm clothes. So whatever I'm wearing is just enough. It just never factored into my decision process a lot. Just whatever I'm wearing and just venture out to hike. Now enter the rule of force, and that completely changes the dynamics of what I pack and what is important. Here is the simple rule of thumb about survival. Rule of force says that you can survive for 4 minutes without air, 4 hours without heat, 4 days without water, and 4 weeks without food. Now, there are a lot of caveats for this, of course. It's not quite 4 weeks. I know people, in particular Steve Pavlina, who did a 40-day water fast and didn't eat for a little over 5 weeks, almost 6 weeks. So it's not 4 weeks, but the idea is the order of magnitude is right. Some people say it's rule of threes, some people say it's rule of fives, but how long you can survive without air is a matter of minutes. How long you can survive without heat is a matter of hours. How long you can survive without water is a matter of days, and without food is a matter of weeks. Okay, so that's the rule of thumb. Now, let's now talk about how this changes my packing. There is not a whole lot you can do about air that you need pretty much constantly. The second is lack of heat. You can survive without lack of heat for about 4 hours. Many people underestimate the power of heat. Roughly 1,500 people die of hypothermia in the United States alone every year. Most of these deaths are avoidable. And as I mentioned above, clothes used to be an afterthought for me also when I was packing for hiking. But warm clothes are essential for avoiding hypothermia. We can talk a lot about what kinds of clothes and specific fabric and all that, but generally, woolen and synthetic clothes are better because they wick your moisture well, and cotton is really not good for warm layer, especially the first layer on your body. One might say that people in cold weather suffer from hypothermia more, from extreme low body temperatures. That is actually not true. The moderate cold weather is the one that is most dangerous because people tend not to be ready for cold weather and hence suffer from hypothermia. So please pack enough clothes, a couple of woolen warm layers, rain gear, and lightweight space blanket for in case you get stranded somewhere that will keep you warm and you can wrap yourself in it. It's very lightweight also. So wherever you go, you gotta pack these things for keeping yourself warm. Now, next is water and food. Food is the least important thing one needs to worry about in wilderness. That's very counterintuitive, and definitely it was counterintuitive for me. Water is a lot more important. You want to carry enough water for the whole day, about 2 to 3 liters of water. So that's actually about 4 to 6 pounds of water. So that's a lot of weight, especially if you take a diversion or get lost for some time. Water is very important, a lot more than food. Better yet, you can carry water purifying tablets or other mechanisms like water filters or UV pumps or UV water purifiers like Steripen. In that case, you can get water from any natural source like a stream or something, or stream or river, or just a lake, and you can purify water yourself. I still pack food for my hikes, of course. It is just not pleasant if you're hungry during the hike, but other factors are a lot more important than I used to realize. Also, you don't need to carry a ton of food, which usually people do, and I used to do a lot. You don't need a lot of backup for food also. About like a half a pound to a pound and a half of food every day is all you need, and especially if you're doing a day hike, a pound of food should be more than enough per person. Now, that's all for the packing for the hiking based on the rule of fours. I'm gonna talk in a later video about generally packing for hiking, but as far as the rule of four is concerned, here are the important things for hiking. Number one, you wanna carry enough warm clothes and lightweight space blanket. It's very counterintuitive, but that's the first important thing you wanna carry. Second, you wanna carry enough water for a day, or at least water purifying mechanisms like a tablet or Steripen or UV water purifier, things like that. And number three, food, that comes the last, about half to a pound of food per person depending on how long are you going to be out for. So to wrap up, there is a list of a lot more in the list of essentials you want to pack for hiking. They're called 10 essentials that you want to carry if you venture outside in the wilderness especially. I will make another video about 10 essentials, but in this one, what I wanted to talk about is the rules of four and the hiking packing list based on the rule of four. So that is all I have to share today. Hope you learned something from this, and I hope to see you later. Adios.